As I mentioned earlier, beings in the sixth dimension are the architects of our reality. The entire process of the creation of reality originates from Lucifer. Lucifer means beautiful light. He is an archangel who tried to construct himself from a different perspective, but his method was not expansion, but contraction. He is the sun of the universe, and his body is entirely made of light. However, as light, he could only see one aspect of everything. This bored him, so he decided to turn himself into the opposite so that he could see different colors of light. In our story, he rebelled against his father. His father, who is God, the universe, told him that he needed to find the path of light because he is the most beautiful light. But his question was, if I am the light itself, how do I find it? If I am light, the only way to find it is to conceal my light, transform it into other colors, and distort it so that I can discover it. This was the moment when the main light in the universe began to distort into energy. The light we speak of, the light in the universe, is what we now call energy. Energy is the flow of all waves of time moving through space. These energy waves connect everything at different levels of vibration. Light at different levels of vibration creates what we call colors. Colors create what we now refer to as the concept of soul. In other words, the first light created energy by distorting itself, and energy at different levels of vibration created different colors, which then created souls. Souls are the patterns and the main structures that record every experience in the universe. Therefore, the main light fractalized itself into thousands of colors, which form the 12 primary colors of the rainbow. The 12 colors in the spectrum create various energies in high and low vibrations, which we call cold and hot, positive and negative. These energy waves create different types of distortion. This is the project of Lucifer, to create distortion in reality. This created what we now call the sixth dimension. The sixth dimension consists of different vibrations of the universe that can create reality from those distortions. It's like creating so many distortions from the first light that you can see these images as if you were looking into a mirror. Each mirror reflects a different shape, and you can construct reality from these shapes. These first structures created are the primary geometries we know: tetrahedron, cube, octahedron, icosahedron, and dodecahedron. Then, these combine together to create the sixth one that creates the 6 spheres of creation in the sixth dimension. They are like the bricks that build the structure of reality. The main structures of the universe, the bricks that create everything, are the product of light distorting itself into different shapes. This is how Lucifer began to create the primary structures for the universe to create new realities. Its main goal is to split the self, the spirit, into many spirits, allowing the spirit to divide into many souls. Souls can then divide into many lives, and lives into many experiences. It's like a tree showing you with all its branches, flowers, and leaves through fractals how we can achieve more light. If we have thousands of flowers and leaves, we can achieve more light compared to just one flower or leaf. This process is about replicating ourselves from the same shape, allowing us to have different perspectives on ourselves and different paths to the light. These different paths are the product and the main job of the architects of the universe. The architects of the universe are archangels who come from the aspects of the universe of the 7th dimension. They transform themselves into the vibrations of these different shapes, the bricks of reality. When they descended From the 7th dimension to the 6th dimension, they polarized and became polar. This is why, from those 6 primary structures, they created 12 structures. These 12 structures are different perspectives of the first 5 bricks of creation, which are the primary structures of atomic reactions. As you grow larger in the universe, you won't see galaxies, star clusters, or suns. The only things you might see are the primary structures at the atomic level. This is why the 6th dimension creates reality not from above, but from within. The main structures created in the 6th dimension are now called the 5 platonic solids. These 5 structures then became the 12 faces and the 12 structures created by the bodies of archangels. We now refer to them as Archimedean solids or Archimedean structures. This is why beings in the 6th dimension need to become and transform into these shapes so that they can demonstrate how they construct reality. Therefore, the first 12 main structures of the universe, the Archimedean geometries or solids, are the 12 main structures that construct reality at the atomic level. Therefore, there are no larger beings in the universe, only smaller beings replicating themselves at many levels so that we can have space. This is how the 6th dimension creates the 3rd dimension through the hologram. The hologram is simply one reality, which is the 12 structures derived from the 5 geometries at the center. Then they begin to interact, piecing together like Lego bricks. They start replicating these shapes at different levels, projecting ideas into matter, integrating ether into earth, fire, water, and air. What Lucifer does in the 6th dimension is to allow all beings created there to shape themselves into positive and negative ones. The positive ones lead the ideas of creation, while the negative ones create those ideas and transform themselves into those ideas. This is the concept of angels and demons as we understand it today. For the universe, there are no angels or demons. There are only positive aspects of the universe that are divided into the core of light, and different aspects in the darkness spectrum of the universe responsible for creating scenarios. All the behind the scenes of this play, this reality, is created by demons. Demons are shapes and geometries from very tiny universes that project ideas of light into matter. This is how, in the 6th dimension, some physical beings are related to etheric beings. Etheric beings are the ones like angels that are reflecting light and the colors of light, and the purpose of every creation. The darkest beings, the demons, are the ones that are distorting the light of angels, allowing them to experience their own reality and dreams. Therefore, in the 6th and 5th dimensions, there is no war between angels and demons. They work together. All plans of creation between light and darkness were to create shapes in the atomic reactions of the tiny universe in the 6th dimension, so that the main source of the universe, which is spirit, could be divided into thousands. From the main trunk of the tree, they can be divided into different arms and different branches, so that the leaves and flowers can see different perspectives. Then create fruits that will deliver nutrients to the seeds to create the new universe that we call the new tree. This creates the shape of the tree of life. The tree of life, the expanding geometry and spectrum of the universe, were designed by the angels and demons of the 6th dimension. They are the main cells of the Archangel's body. Archangels are these large bodies that transform themselves through the 12 Platonic and Archimedean structures. From those shapes, the spirit splits itself to reflect and suddenly finds itself among these billions of shapes of evolution. Evolution is a system designed by Lucifer so that spirits can improve themselves. However, Lucifer and the Archangels are not different things. They are the system itself. They are not beings with eyes and hands creating realities, but rather the system itself replicated into thousands of fractals. They are creating us. Therefore, we are the hologram created from the sixth dimension. We are part of the bodies of those beings.